Daramouthe on. I really have no idea what they're going to be about. They said they were banned on
They're a streamer.
Twitter. They just say they're a streamer and they're obsessed with Rumble. That's really all I know. And they had another interview with Conspiracy Fans, the lady we had on. Remember? Alaska, yeah.
Oh.
That's
Interesting.
how I found him. Yeah.
Oh, they know each other?
Yeah, she went on his show. So I gotta listen. I didn't listen to that one, but I watched another one. It's like really weird. So I'm kind of curious about what he does.
That's an interesting conversation. Yeah, let's see what he's about.
All right, here we go. He's about to come in.
Oh yeah, that's if you haven't done it in a while, then that's when you really need to test stuff before you.
Yeah.
All right, now I can like sort of hear. It's very, very.
Yeah, you're a little soft. I think I could turn the volume up.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Hello.
Very faintly, yeah.
Yeah, this is good enough. We're just gonna close this window.
Okay.
My mic's. There we go.
Are we really, really loud?
Are we really loud? Are we loud?
No, you're fine. You're
Okay.
You're good enough to hear. Yeah, you're good enough to hear.
Awesome. All right. Well, sorry about that. Let's start from the top here.
We have to go back, cut, rewind, get back to the back. Just go to the back.
All right. So let's start off. First of all, we're the Baptize Machine. We interview interesting people. So there's a wide range of different people from all walks of life. And we've never delved into the streamer space at all. Yeah, we never talked to anyone who live streams. We don't know that world.
Yeah.
I know there's a very a deep or a very large culture surrounding live streaming. And I'd love to sort of. Do you want to start just by introducing yourself?
Oh yeah.
And
yeah, my name is Daramouthe, and I've been live. Well, I was doing pre-recorded videos beforehand, and then I'm doing live stream. So pre-recorded videos in May, and then live streaming in August of last year. So it's almost been a year. Almost.
Oh, congratulations.
Well, I try. But yeah, it's been a pretty interesting. I kind of do live streams, and I also do shorts of my live streams. So I kind of do two different things. But I started with pre-recorded stuff, and I really haven't gone back to that because I just don't edit.
Yeah. What is the pre-recorded stuff? Does that mean you're live streaming?
That'd be like what we put out on Spotify. I mean, it's
but what's the content though?
Well, it used to be just like, first it was like the beginning of stuff, right? Like you're just kind of messing around, goofing around, all that stuff. And then it was like doing movie review stuff and talking about just randomness and then, or whatever came to mind. And then like gaming, I did gaming, but that became live. I think it did maybe like one or two gaming, pre-recorded, which is just the videos you put out. Right? It's not live streaming. You just put it out there. And then after that, it was just live streaming that stuff. And I've been, again, live streaming since August of last year.
And what's your favorite? I saw a live stream of you with another dude where you were watching a guy make Dungeons and Dragons characters. And and you were like paying him money. What was that about?
That is called a PIF stream or a pay it forward stream. Because I stream to both YouTube and Rumble, right? So during every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, which is the time zone I'm in, I go on Rumble. I go to their live stream group. It's not like live stream gaming or live stream this. It's just live streaming. I go through the live streaming. And I go through people. And I just kind of pay it forward, right? Some people are small, whatever, and give likes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Comments.
It was nice of you.
Yeah. I give some money, but again, I don't make like thousands of dollars. I have a full-time job, so it's not even that close.
Yeah. But you do what you can. That's great though.
Yeah. So it wasn't. I didn't start that sort of thing. The CEO of Rumble, Chris Pavlovsky, and a content creator called Flawed TV. They had done a thing called a Rumble Raid, and they were giving away like I think the total amount was like $10,000 was the total amount. And so
Wow.
I kind of took that, right? I kind of took that and I started like mini Rumble Raid or whatever. And then I was like, but I'm not raiding anyone. I don't really have a lot of people. I'm really just going around, saying something, kind of nice or whatever, and then giving some money and some likes. I used to do follows, but Rumble's a feed for following people kind of gets clogged up with a lot of people, and you're just like, I don't have enough time in the day to watch everyone's stuff. So, but yeah, I just do that every Friday, and it's only been recent when I've had other people on. Like the guy you probably saw me with was Tommy. He's another content creator who multi-streams, multi-platforms, and he joined me, and then Chrono, which is the person I was talking to towards with him and Tommy at the end, he was a new person who was a recipient of one of my pip streams. So yeah, that's how the wheel turns.
So in regards to streaming, do you think that streaming is the future of content? And then what are the streamers today that you look up to? Because I sort of know some of the more famous ones, but is there a deeper culture than just like the top 3 streamers? And do you think that the streaming is going to take the place of, like, let's say, YouTube? Like, is there going to be like a Logan Paul of streaming, or is it a totally different world?
Live streaming is just going to be part of the whole ordeal of content creation, just like uploading videos, doing shorts. It's part of that system synergy, which you have some platforms like Twitch, like Kick, they're live stream only, right? That's it for that. Then you have some platforms like TikTok, which is just shorts only, right? I think they're doing live streaming, but I don't remember. And then you have
they do.
Then you have YouTube, who does all 3, which is live stream, pre-recorded videos, and then shorts. And Rumble sort of does 2. You can upload shorts to it, but it doesn't have the recommendation engine to be there yet. It's sort of like beta testing right now. But
I see. So yeah, why did you choose Rumble? Why is Rumble your? Because we're thinking about going on Rumble too.
It's not just Rumble though. It's Rumble and YouTube.
Oh, okay.
I didn't just do one platform. My belief is that as a content creator, with
multi-platforming,
because the problem of it is if you just stay on one platform, you run the risk of losing everything. Just take YouTube, for example, right? You see people get demonetized. You see people get banned, sometimes for no reason at all, or sometimes for the weird rules YouTube has. Guess what happens when they decide to shut you down and you can no longer earn money for them? And you have nowhere else to go, right?
Yeah. So that's smart. That's smart.
But Rumble, but Rumble is up and coming. It's still not there. It's it's one of those things. I mean, there's many other platforms you can go to. You can go Odyssey, BitChute, whatever you want to. But Rumble was one of the ones coming up, and it was just like, well, I might as well try and do whatever. And I've just been sticking with it ever since. It's it has some benefits, but again, it's a growing pain platform right now. So you're gonna get that, but like they offer Rumble Studios, right? That's free to use. You can stream to multiple platforms from it. It's sort of like their own version of StreamYards, if you know what StreamYards is.
Yeah. Early adoption is always an advantage too. Like if in a couple of years Rumble blows up, you'll be settled in there, and really be able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, we're actually multi-platforming now too. We're live on Twitter. Yeah.
So do you live stream and then take that live stream afterwards and cut it up into shorts? Because I've seen a lot of that. Like a famous streamer will have a bunch of shorts on YouTube, and then maybe some longer form content, but it's all of just them live streaming essentially.
Well, I go back through old streams I've done, and those are like older ones. I don't do the recent ones because there's so many streams I have of just with different people. But I use a program called Opus.pro, and what it is, it's an AI clipping tool that.
We've used that before.
Yeah, I use that as well for the streams, and I tell you what, it takes about 90% of the work, and I just do 10%. So 90%.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I use that, and but again, YouTube has that system built in. Rumble kind of doesn't yet, and I just kind of use both platforms because again, I'm not, unless I'm paid for exclusivity, which I don't think YouTube or Rumble ever will. I will not place all content or some content on one platform. I will place both on both platforms because again, it's a safety net.
What do you think of Kick? Because I heard that they're going to start paying salaries to creators who are sticking with them.
Don't know much about it, but I've heard of that, and my advice would be cautious. Be very cautious.
Because they're giving like insane deals to these guys.
What is Kick? I've never even heard of that.
Kick is like a new streaming platform that's funded by gambling money. Like a gambling company owns it.
Okay.
So they have like a massive budget, and they're just giving $10 million, $20 million contracts to these people.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. K-I-C-K.
K-I-C-K.
Okay.
K-I-C-K.
What's your favorite platform? Do you have a favorite?
I do not have a favorite platform, but I enjoy using both Rumble and YouTube.
Okay.
The question one should ask is it creator or is it platform? Which is more important?
Creator, yeah.
Yeah. So
as a creator,
then it doesn't matter the platform unless it's like stuff keep going wrong. Like each platform has its problem. Twitch has its problem. Kick has its problem. All these platforms have their problems to some degree, and it's up to you to decide what is important to say. I don't have those answers. I just choose what works for me, but everyone else has to make their decision on what works for them. I'm like not even a year into this stuff, and it's a learning process. It's going to be a learning process all the way through. So, yeah.
So, yeah, and that's a good point. I think you're approaching it in a smart way. So do you have any streamers that you watch or look up to, or are you sort of going into this not influenced by the current like streamer culture?
I watched a lot of content creators throughout the past. Like I've watched some streamers, right? I've watched, of course, like NFT, Nerdrotics, and a bunch of different other ones. But I don't really. I don't know. I mean, the only lessons I take are their mistakes, right? Like, if a content creator makes a mistake and you see the quick interaction or whatever of the feedback of that mistake, then you can take that and learn that. But there's also things like what a content creator does, how they interact, all this stuff. There's all little things. I'm not perfect at it. I'm not gonna make that claim at any point. But at the end of the day, someone had asked me like what is how would I describe my show, whatever, and I'm sort of like, well, I'm saying I kind of call it a cross between Whose Line and Craig Ferguson, because those are two things I'd rather follow through than some streamer. The streamer would be more like, I enjoy watching their content. It's not like learning lesson, but it's sort of like you want to be humble as a streamer. You don't take things for granted because it can all end at any point at any time. So there's things to take away from it, but for what I'm doing, it's sort of a cross between Whose Line and Craig Ferguson, if you've ever seen either or.
Yeah, I love Whose Line, but I'm not familiar with Craig Ferguson.
It's
British talk show host.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like from a long time ago, his clips are still on YouTube if anyone wants to check them out. But you see this guy, right, who's a Scottish, right, and he has celebrities and stuff. I don't know if I'll ever have celebrities, but the point of the matter is that he would, when they come to sit down, they're there to promote a movie, a show, or whatever, and you'd be given the cards, right? As all show hosts give is these cards, whatever the questions, just tear them up and just throw them on the floor, and just go with the conversation. Yeah,
nice.
That's what I'd rather do.
Interesting. So do you have people on your streams to talk with them?
Yes, a lot of them. If you were to go to either my YouTube or Rumble, you're going to see some are repeats, and sometimes some are just one-time comers. But I think at this point, I've talked to close to a little over 40 people. I'm not too sure. I haven't counted. It's been a while. So, but yeah, it's been a lot.
Awesome. Interesting. Do Where do you want to take this?
Um,
on a ship.
Who has been the best conversation you've ever had? Also, I wanted to mention that we're hard to describe too. We're a bit of an enigma. We have some haters. We get blocked a lot. Well, let's actually rewind. So I want to ask you this question. We were called out because we had the shaman who stormed the U.S. Capitol on, and we just let him talk, and people got pissed at us for that. So I'm just I have a 2-part question, which is
Sure.
Part 1, who is the best person you've ever had on, and then Part 2, what kind of hate, if any, have you experienced on this?
So the first question is, who's been the favorite person to converse with? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. Some of the time, some people, either they're nervous or anxiety or whatever, and so they're kind of hard to, or the reaction, they're kind of hard to go back and forth.
Hard to go back and forth.
But
sorry, I was repeating you because you didn't have his headphones on. Sorry. I thought I was far enough. I thought I was far enough away from the microphone. My bad. Yeah, that's all I see.
No, you're all right. It's just people who get into it because it's not a topic. I mean, there are topics within, but it's not a topic strain show. It is a free-flowing conversation show. So a lot of content creators say like the topic of the day or whatever it is, and that's fine. You do what you will. It's not for me because I find having free flowing conversation works a lot better. I know there's questions and stuff, and I know people will say that it's like an interview, but for me it's like is it still an interview if you're asking me questions? Because it's a little weird. So I just don't see it that way. I just see it as a time period where I can come together with other people, and we just
like that.
Yeah, we just get to sit because I didn't see it from other content creators because every other content creators were in a bubble of entertainment and this and that and this, and they just stuck there, which is fine. You do what you would. You do what sometimes generates you money or whatever. But for me, it was like I didn't see it. It was all in these bubbles, and I'm like, I'd rather take a hammer to all that and just go everywhere I can because why not, right?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, dude, people love authenticity. So the approach you're taking really sticks to that as like a core pillar. And if the conversation, I mean, that's why some of the biggest podcasts in the world grew to that size because of that, that sort of strategy, that method, just sort of sticking to an authentic conversation wherever it, may flow. So I like it.
Now, I will say people mention Joe Rogan a lot who does that, but my thing is Joe Rogan has a lot of celebrities or people who are considered celebrities and a lot of MMA or UFC fighters. So I would say yes, he has conversations with those people that are very authentic and stuff, but he only goes to a certain section of people. I'm going all over the place, right? I'm going to people who want to be on that conversation. I've had VTubers. I've had creators, big or small, and I've had non-creators. Where else? I can't see that anywhere else. It's all stuck in bubbles, and I just didn't want to be that.
Yeah, I like that approach.
Yeah,
and I think consistency and quality over time can turn this into a real opportunity in a job.
Yeah, we struggle with consistency. We took like a 3-year break when we first started. We started 2020 and we resumed this year. So
that's understandable. But the thing of it is, though, do you guys enjoy it?
Yeah,
it's a great time. We've known each other for 25 years. So
So consistency will follow when you're able to just make time for it. Because I mean, if you enjoy it, then everything else will follow. For me, a lot of content creators either they go for money, for fame, or this or that, or whatever. There's a variety of reasons, but for me, it's like there are two questions one must ask themselves when they're getting content creators, right? Is what are you gaining? What are you going in for? And what do you expect out of it? Right? If you're going in for fame, money, fortune, or all that stuff that just seems to be the blasé sort of bourgeois stuff, then you might as well just walk away because there's too many people out there trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And if you ask yourself the other question, which is what do you expect out of it? Well, of course, that was the first one. Sorry, but it's sort of like what you're willing to put in to dig it out. Again, my pitch streams aren't done to do like, oh, I expect people to follow me after. It's more like, look, whether you see it or not, whether you follow me or not, it doesn't matter. I'm giving you this little thing. Have a great day. I go on to the next person because there's not a lot. One, there's not a lot of people doing it, especially on Rumble, and two, it's just not being seen elsewhere. At least from my perspective. Again, I only follow a certain amount of other people. So it's not like I know everyone of everything, right? I don't have that kind of time. I have a full-time job, so I don't want to kind of. But yeah, it's just what are you going in for, and what do you expect out of it? If your expectation is going in for money, get out money, just walk away.
Yeah, that's why we've seen so many creators totally crash and burn.
Yeah, would you mind if we ask them how old you are?
35.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm 40. He's 25.
Nice. You guys don't
No, 27.
27.
Just kidding. I'm 32.
He's 32. Yeah.
You are 40.
Yeah. I'm a bit
you guys don't
older.
look that far apart, to be honest.
No, we're not. He ages bad. Smoked too many cigarettes.
I did smoke too many cigarettes. Yeah.
He's throwing you under the bus.
Yeah, but I mean that is a really good point. It's the same thing with business. You know, you have to be going in wanting to help something, or if your motivations aren't genuine, you are just in it for the money. I think a lot of times there's no longevity in it. You might be able to make some money, but think about 90% of creators, they might get hot for like a year, but they're gone now. So it's important. Creators who stick to that sort of philosophy, I think, have more longevity, and they're like around today.
Well, you also see it too, right? You see the ones that have been like what was it? Matt from Game Theory, right? He's been around for like 13-something years, but he's getting a family, he's doing all this stuff. And for a YouTube content creator, you have to create in order to stay within the algorithm basis, right? You have to continuously create. You got to keep coming up with something. You got to. So there's a force of creation. If you have to be in that space, you've chosen that path. But for me, it's like I do it because there's a whole world of people out there connected to the internet, right? Rumble is connected to a million users, millions of users, and YouTube is connected to billions of users. Imagine the kind of conversations you can have with individuals, as long as you're alive, to be honest. But the burnout, I believe the burnout is real, but the burnout is also again, to the two questions, what are you going in for? What do you want to get out of it? If you go on vacation and you kind of just go with the flow and just wherever, try to whatnot, it cannot work for longevity. You don't want to do the whole, I don't know what, like the speed runs. You see those gamers who do speed run stuff. You just want to enjoy the process because why not? Right?
You have to ask, why are you in it for? And if the internet didn't exist, what would you be doing?
For the second one, it's easy. I'd just be doing my secondary job or my full-time job.
What's that?
I work in tech stuff.
Well, what if there's like no technology, like computer, like electricity never was invented?
Well, then we're going back to the Stone Age, boys, and we're doing a little hunting. All right. But
I don't know. There's like no internet. Like it was just like we just have to go. We'd have the telephone and lights. That was like it. Like no TV, no internet. You'd have to go to like a play or like a comedy show if you wanted to live entertainment.
Are you talking analog or digital? If you're talking analog, I'd still be with my full-time job. You're talking digital. I mean, that's
But what would
full
you be
on.
doing during the time you stream, like in your free time? How would you replace that? You ever thought about that?
Working out, just trying to figure out doing something else. Whether to get away from my job or do other stuff. It'd be a multitude of things, but there's no real one way to answer because that's again like all hypotheticals. You're just giving a best guess.
Yeah, it's just a weird hypothetical.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question you could really answer.
Yes.
What is your ultimate fantasy?
That's very open-ended in the question itself. What fantasy are you going on? Because
I'll let you take it away. I'll let you wherever your mind goes first. That's what I want to know.
Well, for me, if it's within what I'm doing now, it's to ultimately be at a point where I could have a home and I could set up like this little, homely, rustic sort of thing where I could have people sitting across from me instead of a screen, and then the camera recorders both right across from each other. But I mean that's a money and time thing, so who knows if that'll be. But I mean that would pretty much be it. I'm looking to get beyond myself and not like be stuck to whatever. I enjoy what I'm doing because I found it, right? Like as an adult, you're not told or you're not shown a direction of where you're supposed to go, like what you want to do with your life, right? You just have to find it, right? And I've been floundering forever just trying to find something. When I did it, the conversation stuff, I was like, that's the thing. And
Yeah.
I've been back since.
It does look like you're indoors now. So what would you consider that more of a room than a home?
It is a room because I do not own the place I'm in. I'm just renting a room.
I see.
Yeah.
Us too.
Yeah, us too.
Yeah.
Us too.
Yeah.
So,
that's cool though that you found your passion and that's conversation. And dude, you just gotta stick to this method and keep it authentic.
Yeah.
And you'll keep growing. People love that type of shit.
I am curious about your background. Are those Post-it notes?
Yeah. So because Rumble has day one monetization, the red Post-it notes are monthly memberships. Those are the sub monthlies. So you'll see on Rumble during our live streams where it says subscribe. Those red ones are monthly memberships, and the blue and yellow are Rumble rants. And they just write the number of what was the dono and then the username.
Well, what's a Rumble rant?
Rumble rant is Rumble's super chat.
Oh, so they like send you $5 and
if
it pops up.
Yes, but the thing of it is with Rumble rants is that they have a 200 character limit at any price. With YouTube, you have to. The pay is what gets you more characters to use to write something in. So, yeah. So that's that. But I mean, but for me, it's just those are what it is. Is they're just Rumble rants. I'm not monetized on YouTube. Don't know if I'll ever take up that opportunity. I'm not even close to it yet. But I just figured there was someone had mentioned a comment like my wall was drab or whatever. It's like a gray coloring. They said you should use some color on your wall. And I was like, okay, all right. And then there's a thing a podcast, whatever I follow, it's called Side Stories Podcast, and the main person, Craig, would write up donos, write up money thing or whatever, whether it be on YouTube or whatever, and he put it on the wall behind him, and I was like, well, if I'm gonna add color, right, and I like to do something that sort of like shows the people appreciation, then I can just do that, and I was like, colorful wall. Two birds, one stone. I haven't in a while, but it's just there for storage sake because I'm not interested in getting rid of it. They were once my dad's, and he just gave it to me, and like I'm not thinking about getting rid of them, so they're just there for collecting dust at the moment. But I have played. It's just been quite a while.
The Wall Street bitch used to tour with Twiddle.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah. but yeah, that's what those are. And if there was a guy I had on, his name is Hans, and he was mentioned like doing something like a Connect Four sort of thing, and I'm like, well, I don't know how I would do it, but maybe like a distraction Connect Four. But it's just I haven't really put too much thought in the process. I've just been like focusing on getting people on and all that stuff. So
that means you've got a couple monthly subscribers. That's great.
yeah, 2 of them. I did have more, but it's not a it's just a give thing, right? So you can leave or whatever. But yeah, it's been nice.
Nice.
So and on Rumble you get the full monthly sub. So like if someone subs to you, you get that full $5.
Nice. Yeah, and I guess you're competing against like some crazy shitheads. Like I'm looking it up right now. Have you heard of Jack Doherty?
I don't.
Jack Doherty.
Jack Doherty.
He's like the most hated streamer. This is what it says.
Oh, I have no idea.
Well, you're competing with jackasses like this guy.
Mm.
And what he does is like he has hot girls and he drives around Ferraris. It's like shitty, baseless content, but it attracts people for some reason.
Yeah, people love drama, destruction, anything there's an action to it. But I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I do in a way. I kind of compare numbers and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's like I'm doing this because I want to do it, not because I'm in competition with other people. I don't care. At the end of the day, I'm doing this to have fun with it, and if it can become something big in the end, that'll be great. If not, I'll just be glad it's enough that people will come that want to chat and see and more down the line.
Yeah, that's the same attitude that we're taking as well.
Yeah. What are you most interested in, though? We're most interested in, I would say, the pyramids, food, conspiracy theories, crypto theories, the Sphinx, wild animals, beer, marijuana,
scarlet letters,
psychedelic studies,
and Enoch and
and classic novels like Pride and Prejudice.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm interested in.
Also, we like hiking, rafting, skiing, mountain biking, rock climbing,
and like fossils.
Yeah, finding archaeology, also paleontology. How about you? Yeah, sorry, now.
No, you're fine. No, I'm interested in others' perspective of what they see in the world, because you get a lot of content creators. They either have people who agree with them, or maybe sometimes disagree them or whatever, and then they kind of get stuck in that sort of bubble. I just have people on who we talk about whatever, and the different perspectives come out of whether you agree with it or not. Because I'm not debate or argument, none of that.
Yeah. What would you think your most controversial opinion would be?
Well, one was probably the one from yesterday where I was saying people want, if say the U.S. if people want change in their government, they're going to have to bankrupt their own economy to get it done.
Yeah, crash and let it burn.
Are you a Bitcoin guy or?
I've invested in some Bitcoin, but it's not like I'm one of those big guru people, whatever. It's just another form of investing, to be honest. But yeah. I also understand that all forms of monetary fiat are a belief system.
Yeah, I love that. That's what I think too.
Are you political or apolitical?
I don't care about politics.
Are you sexual or asexual?
But you have to care about politics.
No, I don't.
Well, why? Yeah, because it affects the price of your house, your rustic home you want, and how you could build it.
Because
and that's like saying I don't care if someone comes in my house and murders everyone, because
the government could legalize that if you don't care about politics, and then who gets voted for.
That's a little extreme. I know.
Yeah, that was a little extreme. Well, what's changing now? Right, you have politics, right? But what's changing now? What's the conversations about taxes and stuff and all that? What's changing?
I just think it's a luxury to say that you don't care about politics, because that means that you're in a position where you're not really affected by anything, and you should, stand up for the people that are, and this is just nothing against you. I'm just, because people say that a lot, and what we're lacking in the country is political inspiration and movement to get shit done.
Yeah, think about if whatever town you lived in, you got on the board of the town, or you got elected there. All politics start local to help make other people's lives better. If there's shitty taxes you're paying, or there's programs you want that you need taxes for, that starts local and then goes up. And then if everyone becomes local, it could spread.
But the word politics is a dirty word, so I understand why.
But it's about caring about your community, being community oriented. But I guess, your community might be different.
Do you think if I think it was Tim Pool, whatever, you think if Tim Pool gets his way up to the Civil War, do you think community is still going to be a thing?
I don't know what his way is, Tim Pool. I don't know Tim Pool.
I sort of know Tim Pool. Is he an extreme libertarian?
I think he's super far.
I'm just using I'm using an example, but more of if the crap were to hit the fan, right, and civilization just you have the whole zombie whatever, or just the economy does crash, does the community still exist? Because there's gonna be a lot of panic.
I mean, that's an interesting question. I think there would be pockets of people that band together up to a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
But I think evolution and the success of our species is strictly because of cooperation.
Yeah, codependence on people. That certain people are better at other things,
Yeah. So I don't know. That's a good question, though. Very good question.
Yeah, it's the one that doesn't get asked very often, so that's why it's a good question.
Yeah.
But I can see from your perspective why you care about politics. I've heard that thing too, but it's okay, so you have a lot of people, all right, they talk about wanting taxes changed or whatever. They keep voting in humans, right? Because it's humans voting in humans. That's the bare bones.
Do you identify as a human?
Well, yes, I am flesh and blood, so yes, I will do that.
But continue. I like the point you're making, though. Yeah, it really is just humans electing humans to pass laws over other humans.
It's a form of power transfer, right? You're giving what little power you believe you have, and you do it in a group, and you give it to one person who's supposed to represent your corner of the area, right? Like your fighter contender, whatever you want to call it. And that person goes to the other group of fighter contenders, and they have to sit there and delegate or whatever. But then you keep hearing stories about corruption and all this other stuff, and you keep asking yourself, why isn't it changing? I keep putting this person in, I keep voting for this. They keep telling me blah 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 forward stuff.
Yeah, it's a belief system.
It all of it is. Politics, political identities are just tags for the tribe. That's the basis form of it. We just called it something different.
But that's why you should believe in politics, because you have a belief that the current political environment is trash and we need to change it. So that's
because you didn't have that kind of thing beforehand. Politics is just part of that whole, the civilization. Like you had the Romans who had the Senate, right? They go into rotunda, they argue their debate, all that stuff. So it's just a grown up form from that. But I don't have to, because freedom in essence allows both conflict and peace, and we rely on a rule book, basically, not a rule book, a ruling documentation that people who have higher power, right? Talk about the previous about power, who can look at that manuscript and say, it's just ink and parchment.
Interesting.
What's
so
that?
You're saying you claim your personal individual autonomy and the rule book doesn't really affect you, but one day it could, by force.
Not to me, but people who have power, right? People have power. People who are higher up, right? You can go to your the three letters, whatever, and they can look at the Constitution and say that's just ink and parchment and walk all over it, right? Because rules for them don't equate to the rules for us, right? And you see that all the time.
100%.
Yeah. So not to me, but to people who have more power. Right, people who have whatever, they could look at the documentation and say this is just ink and parchment, and at that point, it doesn't matter anymore. Those rules are just It's like in the Pirates of the Caribbean, right, where they talk about parlay, but then they just say it's just guidelines. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what happens at the top levels all the time.
You could just say that about all the rules and all these streaming platforms are just guidelines. Same premise. So.
Look at Twitch. Look at Twitch.
Yeah, Twitch is banning everyone.
Oh, really?
They basically have a bunch of hot tub streamers who get they get banned for a day or two because it's mostly women, right? They get banned for a day or two, and they get back on, or they get back on like 24 hours after. So it is a guideline to some degree on many platforms.
That's funny.
And baptism.
Yeah, Daramouthe, we were wondering if we could share we could do a screen share with a Dak Doherty video so you could see what he's about and just get your reaction.
Yeah, because he's
the
biggest douchebag streamer.
Yeah, on Rumble, like Twitter, TikTok. This is a TikTok, but I'm sure it's on everything.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard of.
Can you see okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just want to get your reaction.
Yeah, I think I've heard of the name.
Let's see what he's about.
Ready?
What is this?
You guys restart it and go a little closer.
This is Jack Doherty shows off his new $30 million mansion he's buying.
Just pictures of it. I'm like,
yeah. Wait, what is this? Is fucking dumb.
Aren't all of them dumb though?
This is his top stream, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean this. I don't really know much about this guy, but he's like the top streamer.
Looks like he has another phone in his lower. This is weird.
I think he's live streaming right now.
Good for him for having that much
put a
money.
custom pool now, customize everything about the house. It's
oh wait, yeah,
2.5
acres. This is a better one.
Okay, hold on. We'll share one more.
Yeah, because that was a little anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Let's see. Did that play back okay for you? This is a newer.
It didn't fail or anything.
It was just literally a bit stream of nothing. I just want our audience to understand the bad side of streaming, and they can compare it to what you're doing, which is like a good, positive, authentic thing.
This one's much shorter too, so
this
we won't
like
put
streamer gone wrong
through as much agony. 1 second. Normally have my mouse, but it's very far away right now.
Just use your mind. Just use.
I wish, man. Oh, I recall this guy now. He just has a bunch of bodyguards he hires, and then he just goes around and fucks with people who are like way smaller than him.
Bodyguards just
like, come at me, and then he just has he's a total dickhead. I recall him.
Yeah.
I don't even see any more of him.
Yeah. Anyway. Sorry for that.
I don't know much about it. It looked like he had TikTok, Kick, and TikTok and Instagram, but I've never heard of his name or seen him. But again, that's sort of like that's how important he is to me. It's not very much or at all. So
yeah, that's good. That's good.
If someone wants to flaunt their money like that, well, they're free to do it. But I don't give a rat's behind because there's no point, right?
I'm just surprised. Like, how do you make that much money doing streaming? That's crazy.
You be like Ninja, get a $100 million deal from Kick.
Yeah.
Wait, who's Ninja?
He's a streamer as well who used to be on Mixer. That was a Microsoft thing, and then it got shut down or whatever, and then I think he got picked up by Kick, and he had like multicolored hair or whatever it is, but he got picked by Kick, and it was like $100 million contract they gave him. So
that's insane. Is he still streaming today? That's crazy.
You have to look it up. I don't know. I just know that was the deal a while ago.
Oh, Richard Tyler was his name. Yeah, there's so many like crazy people like this that the average person never really hears of, but they're so fucking famous.
Yeah. You get famous for drama, for doing action, for doing all sorts. Just look at like Kai and Speed Kai or whatever it was, and lighting the fireworks in his room. You do.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Mike Roch?
Nope.
Or like Seymour? Seymour?
Mm-mm. Nope.
But Seymour?
Mm-mm. Nope.
No. Huh.
Never heard of him.
Or yeah.
Probably because again, Ninja, Speed, Kai, Kenneth or whatever it is, and then there's like Rice Gum and Misfits or something, whatever. But I don't pay attention to all that noise. It's just like a content eye catcher stuff. It's candy. It's eye candy basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's good for the space because it like brings eyeballs to streaming in a certain way.
Yeah, in a certain way, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not the. It's just with again starting with YouTube because it was the forum based for all this stuff. Really, it's just shining a spotlight on people who want to whatever, right? Is music and all this other stuff. Like there's so much out there.
Yeah, hold on, shit, dude, we're getting like a crazy windstorm. Hold on. Oh man, we barely made that windstorm.
That was crazy. An insane windstorm came and just smashed us.
Yeah, blew out our technology.
Yeah,
but
blew out all our tech.
Thanks, Daramouthe. We'll post this. This will be our 30-second episode.
Yeah, we called Daramouthe back like at least 7 times.
Daramouthe and the windstorm, I think.
Yeah.
So Daramouthe, the streamer, and the windstorm.
Big D.
So yeah, dude, thanks for coming on. Sorry we lost you. Hopefully we can do a part 2 some other time soon. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.